Red Bull Army, I got a conspiracy theory for you. You're not going to like this, but buckle in. This is about Max Verstappen. So, Max Verstappen, it's been clear for a while now that he has had performance, exit clauses in his contract if they don't get a certain constructor's position, if they don't get a certain, if he doesn't finish in a certain place in the standings, he's allowed to leave. Christian Horner even mentioned this in season 1 of Drive to Survive. This has been known for a while. Now, why is this important? Because for the past year, there's been tiny rumors, and now these rumors are ratcheting up of Max Verstappen possibly going to either Aston Martin or Mercedes-Benz. So why is this important? Well, if he just leaves, I mean, Christian Horner gives this narrative of like, oh, we'll just let you leave if you want to leave. You're not stuck with us. We both know that's not true, right? The answer is you can leave, but you're gonna have to shell out some money, or you're gonna have to, do some things, right? Which completely reasonable. Okay, here's a conspiracy theory. So Liam Lawson got promoted over Yuki Tsunoda, and it all kind of made sense to us, mainly because of how Yuki Tsunoda has just kind of been overlooked for the longest time. But if you actually think about it, Yuki Tsunoda hasn't actually really been overlooked by Red Bull, right? Checo has just been in the seat, and when Pierre Gasly got demoted and Alex Albon got the seat, and then Alex Albon got replaced with Checo, Yuki Tsunoda wasn't really there, and he wasn't a real, viable prospect for the seat. It was just them sticking with Checo, which we've seen that they were just willing to do because of, sponsorship reasons, right? So, I know there's been narrative of Yuki wants a seat, which is why I think that when Liam Lawson got the seat over Yuki, nobody really batted an eye about it. But if you think about it, it's obviously really weird, right? So here's the theory, is that I think Max Verstappen, there's two cliques with Red Bull, right? There's the Max Verstappen, Jos Verstappen clique, which has Helmut Marko in there, and there's the Christian Horner clique, right? And I think Max Verstappen really pushed to get Liam Lawson that seat because he knew that Liam Lawson would not be able to perform. He knew that Liam Lawson would struggle a lot more than Yuki Tsunoda would. And if Liam Lawson struggles a lot more than Yuki Tsunoda, then people are going to blame the car when Max Verstappen doesn't perform. They're not going to blame Max Verstappen, right? They're going to say this car obviously sucks because Liam Lawson can't perform, which is what we've been seeing, right? However, if you put Yuki Tsunoda in the seat and Yuki Tsunoda starts to perform well, now those exit clauses can still get triggered because a lot of them are based on individual performance. So if Max Verstappen just decides to just throw races, he'll be able to get out of the contract, right? However, the public perception will obviously be dinged, right? So if Yuki Tsunoda gets that seat and he starts performing incredibly well, then if Max Verstappen is not performing at much larger, leaps than Yuki Tsunoda, then we obviously know that he's throwing it, right? So that's why I think that Max Verstappen wanted Liam Lawson in that seat, and why Max Verstappen was pushing to keep him in that seat behind the scenes, and why Max Verstappen ended up being the first person to firing the opening pistols on Liam Lawson, because he didn't want that sort of blood on his hands, right? All this to say, I think that the reason why Christian pulled the trigger so early on Liam Lawson is I think he was kind of bullied by the Max and Joss wing into giving Liam Lawson that seat. And then he was just like, look, I'm not going to sink because of a guy who has 1 foot out the door, especially to Mercedes, who I hate, right? If there's anybody, obviously he hates Zach Brown more, but Zach Brown is not as successful. Mercedes has been Red Bull's main rival, obviously. So the fact that, he's leaving to Mercedes is an even bigger slap in the face. So, Christian Horner, I think after China was just like, look, I'm not doing this. I'm riding with my guys. You want out of here, you want out of here. You're not going to decide who gets that second seat anymore, which causes a huge problem for Max, because I really do think that Yuki Tsunoda is going to perform well in that car, and he's going to show that it's not the car's fault. It is Max Verstappen's fault for being checked out primarily. Do I think Max is still going to leave? I think he seems done with the year. He seems done with Red Bull. He seems done with the team. The fact that, we all celebrated the win at China of him just keeping the position that he got from qualifying was kind of pathetic. It's not the Red Bull winning mentality that we're used to. And I think Max leaves at the end of the year, but I think he leaves without being able to be the good guy the way that he wanted to. He looks like a little bit more of a villain. And I think Asik Hadjar gets that seat. And I think Asik Hadjar and Arvid, the other guy, and Yuki. I think these guys are the truth. I think we're going to have a great team on our hands, and we are well positioned for the future. We may not win for the next year or two, but I think we're going to go back to winning very soon. Let me know what you think.